So dismiss the recording notification, and then keep your blanket and your strap close by. So you'll need like a blanket that you can really roll up to sit up tall, and your strap. And then let's start on our backs. So slowly come down onto your backs. Make yourself comfortable here. Maybe take supine butterfly, which means your soles of the feet are touching, knees are falling wide. You can keep the feet as far away from your groin as you want or as close as you want. Or if this is not comfortable, start with Shavasana. Just take your legs wide and allow your ankles to drop open. So either one is fine. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And we'll start with just a few natural breaths where we sigh out all the tension of the day. Relax our shoulders down. So take a deep inhale through the nose. Open your mouth side out. One more time, deep inhale through your nose. And make that loud sigh, exhale it out. Last time, allowing all the tension to melt away. Take a deep, deep inhale through the nose. Open your mouth side out. Now feel your lips softly. We're going to start inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And as you inhale, imagine your stomach is like a balloon. So you're going to fill it up air. So you'll feel it press against the palm that you're resting on your belly. Maybe your heart will lift up a little bit as well. And as you exhale, you're going to allow that balloon to deflate and watch your hand sink into your belly. So let's all start. I'll count to 4. My counts will be discrete, 1, 2, 3, 4, but I want your breath to be smooth, not discrete. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Notice your belly. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Elongating a bit. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently close your eyes and continue with your own count, inhales and exhales. What I want you to notice is your belly push up against the palm that's resting on your belly and deflate on the exhales. Push up on the inhale and deflate on the exhale. Start noticing your heart lifting up a little bit as well. So let's take 5 breaths here. I'm going to do my own breathing. So do it at your own pace. Be really mindful of your body here. Hope you all finished 5 rounds there. If not, I'll give you a few seconds to finish up your last round wherever you are. And then think again. Let's breathe together. This is called Samavritti pranayama or box breathing. So I'm going to count to 4. We'll inhale. Then we're going to hold that breath with the belly puffed up for 4. We're going to exhale for 4. And then we're going to leave our belly and lungs empty for a count of 4. So imagine you're tracing the sides of a box, which is why it's called box breathing, Samavritti pranayama. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold at empty for 4. So to start, let's take a deep inhale. Exhale all the air out. And then let's start. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Notice your belly. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Return to your natural breath. Maybe with your eyes closed. Take a few more cleansing breaths, even if it is exhaling out through your nose or your mouth. It doesn't matter. Take a deep inhale and forcefully exhale it out. One more time. Deep inhale and forcefully exhale it out. And then if you are in Shavasana, then bring your legs together. If you took the Baddha Konasana, extend your legs out, bring your ankles together, point your toes, reach your arms overhead, and take a good morning stretch. Reach long through the entire front of your body. Take a deep inhale here. And then on the exhale, sweep your arms down, bring your knees into your chest, and let's rock and roll a few times from side to side, massaging our back. You can still leave your eyes closed to retain that feel-good sensation after our breathing exercises. Almost want to curl up and go for a nap with this cool weather. And grab behind your thighs and let's rock up and down. Tap your toes to the front, tap your toes behind you if you can, or at least reach your toes behind you. A few times, like massaging the entire length of your spine. And then come up to a seat. Bring that blanket, fold it up as many times as you can. And then you're going to sit at the edge of the blanket. You're not going to sit on the blanket, but sit at the edge of the blanket. Maybe open your eyes now. You're going to sit up tall. This will help us with our breathing. So sit up tall by folding the blanket a few times, maybe as many times as you can. Roll your shoulders out. Squeeze your shoulders up to your ears. Send them back and down. Again, squeeze your shoulders up to your ears. Send it back and down. One time. Roll your shoulders back and down. Let's do the other side. So roll your shoulders up, then bring them forward and down, just reversing the direction of the rotation. And last time here. Sitting up tall. We're going to do some breathing exercises. And then we'll take it to a cat-cow with the breath. So we're going to take our, try to see if we can connect breath to movement, which is what yoga is about. You're trying to be aware of your body as you are breathing. So we'll do very simple poses where we connect our breath to a movement. So take one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, just to start with. Again, this you're going to notice your belly inflate like a balloon when you breathe in. A lot of people do it in reverse. So that's what yoga teachers use to expand the front of your body when you're breathing in. And then when you're breathing out, the front of the body crumples, the back expands. So when you do it in reverse, we breathe naturally, we don't notice it. We do it in reverse a lot of times during the day. This just helps you be mindful of it. So again, just like we did when we were lying down, inflate your belly on the inhale, and then watch your belly sink back down on the exhale. Let's all start. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just 2 more like this. Notice your heart rise as well. Own inhales and exhales without my counting so that your breath is smooth and not discrete. Now let's take this to a movement, hands to your thighs. So on your inhale, what we're going to do is puff up the front of our body, like puffing up our heart. So hands to your thighs, grab your knees if you want. Inhale, if you press your heart forward, inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your gaze up. On the exhale, crumple your shoulders forward, push your back to the back wall. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are seated cat cows. So inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Puffing your heart up. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pushing your back behind you. One more time. Inhale, seated cow. 4, 3, 2. Puff your heart out. Exhale, 4, 3, 2. Round your shoulders down and come to neutral. Take your right hand beside you. Maybe come to your fingertips. Take your left hand up and lean over to the right. Start noticing the expansion in the left side body. All the ribs in the side of your body, there's a separation there, right? So you're going to breathe into them on your inhales. On your exhales, you're simply going to relax a little bit more. Exhales allow you to relax. That's why when you're like really harried, we like try to exhale it out. So inhales give you more space in your body. Exhales help you relax into that space. Explore your own breath in this side stretch. And slowly come up. You bring your left fingers now to the outside of your right knee. Bring your right fingers behind you and twist from your belly button. So twisting from your belly button, look over your right shoulder. Again, finding those inhales and exhales to help you get deeper into the twist. With each inhale, you're trying to make more space so that you're reaching the crown of the head towards the ceiling. With each exhale, you're going to relax a little bit more deeper into the twist. So explore your own inhales and exhales here. Maybe with your eyes closed. Again, don't lose the connection of your belly inflating during the inhales and deflating during the exhales. Leave your left hand where it is. You're going to turn to the front and cross your right arm over your left arm. Grab those opposite knees and then grab a hold of your shoulders. You can stay here if you want, or you can take Garudasana, eagle arms, by touching the backs of your hands together, or wrap it twice to touch your palms together, your choice. Doesn't matter, you can leave it here, doesn't matter. I just want you to be comfortable to breathe wherever you are. So don't worry about doing eagle arms. So You're going to push your elbows out and lift it up so that you feel a good stretch in the back of your shoulders. You're separating the shoulder wings, the wings of in the back, upper back. I'm going to take a few breaths here. Breathe into that space. You know, the shoulder blades are really separated here, right, in the back. So breathe into that space. Inhales and exhales. Send your inhales deeply into into that space. And with each exhales, maybe you find a little bit more ease. Again, eagle arms not necessary. You can just grab opposite shoulders and claw your fingers into your shoulder blades and peel it apart. Good options. Choose what's right for your body, right? And go ahead and release. Shake it out. Let's do the other side. First, taking the side stretch, left fingers down, right fingers up and over. Again, notice that all those ribs being separated, all the cage expanding on the left side and right side and compressing on the left side. So you want to breathe into all that space, creating more length. Yoga is all about, health of your spine, and we move our spine sideways, we twist, we lengthen, we compress. We do all sorts of things to keep that spinal mobility, which is really, really important as we grow old. Cat-cow is one of my favorite stretches for that reason. Just like, getting up in the morning and doing a few cat-cows, and then don't have back pain and things like that. Slowly come back. And then let's take those right fingers on our left knee, left fingers behind you. Sit up tall and twist to look over your left shoulder if you can, or at least in that direction. Again, noticing the inhales get you deeper into that space, lengthening. With each exhale, you're relaxing more into that stretch. Eventually, when you start tying your breath to your movement, it'll start feeling like a moving meditation. And there's, you'll come out of yoga class with that runner's high. Usually you see like when runners go for a run, they get that high. The same high you'll feel when you go to a yoga vinyasa class and move with your breath, and the whole class is moving, inhaling and exhaling at the same time. It's almost like synchronized dance or a beautiful choreographed yoga flow. Leave your right fingers where they are. You're going to turn to the front, cross your left arm over your right arm, and then grab opposite shoulders. Peel your shoulder blades apart. See those shoulder wings straight out. And you can just stay here. If this feels like a really good stretch for you, why screw with that? Stay here. If you want to take eagle arms, you can touch the backs of your hands or touch your palms together. Again, breathing, pressing those elbows forward. The more you press your elbows forward, notice you can separate those shoulder blades behind you a little bit more, right? So deepening that stretch. With inhale, breathe into the space. With each exhale, go a little bit more towards the edge of your stretch. Slowly release, shake it out. Now you're going to drop your fingers forward, and then you're going to hinge at your hips. So find your hip hinge, right? These are your hip hinges. You're going to squeeze. If you place 2 fingers at your hip crease, you're going to crush those fingers. So that's how we are going to lean forward. You're not going to lean forward from our upper back, but leaning forward with our heart forward. Fingertips to the front. Start leaning forward a little bit at a time. Notice the stretch in your hips and maybe sway from side to side. Maybe this feels good. Swaying from side to side, rocking your hips out here. And then wherever you are, just stay there and breathe into those hips. Notice which leg is in front. If you're in a comfortable seated crisscross applesauce, I dominant, so my right leg is in front. Now we'll switch it around a little bit later. So just remember which foot is in front. And then with your breath, fill up the back now. So since we are compressing the front of the body, notice if the breath expands your back here. Any sort of forward fold, whether it's a child's pose or you're standing forward fold or just the seated fold, is really, really good to stretch out your back muscles. So whenever you have back pain or something, come into child's pose, just to breathe into those back muscles. And slowly walk your fingers back. Let's change our feet, switch our feet around, whichever feet is in front, switch it around. Probably a non-dominant foot is in front now. And again, drop your fingers forward, start walking your fingers, start swaying, anything that feels good on your hips. Sorry about the phone call earlier. Like, I have a do not disturb, but my mom is allowed to break the rules. So she's been like pocket dialing me. She's out on a walk. So she's done it like 3 times already. And then settle into your fold. Wherever you are, notice the softness wash over your back. Keep pressing your sit bones down into the mat, right? So don't allow yourself to come forward so much that your sit bones are peeling up off the mat or blanket. And slowly come back. And bring your knees together. Remove your blanket. And let's all come into child's pose. To come into child's pose, we're going to take a wide-legged child's pose to start with. Then we'll do a narrow-legged later. So bring the toes together. Your knees are wide. So separate your knees wide. Bring your toes together. And then slowly, one palm print at a time, walk your hands forward. And if you notice that your hips are starting to lift up off your heels, you can plant a blanket or a block or something and just place your forehead on it. If not, if you can comfortably bring your forehead down to the mat, go for it. Reach your arms out in front of you. Reach as far forward to the front of the mat as you can. Maybe your elbows are lifted up off the mat, creating that space in the back, right? And the ribs at the back here. And then relax into it. This is child's pose, Balasana. This is a great pose if you ever want to calm down, because this is a pose in which you can hear yourself breathing. So if you take deep inhales and exhales, you can hear yourself breathing, and that makes you more mindful and it calms you down. So try breathing in and out now. Notice all the softness wash over your back, relax your back. Let gravity play a role here, right? So just let gravity sink your hips towards your heels. Let gravity pull your heart towards the mat. Taking a few breaths here. Notice which part of the body expands as you breathe in. Notice which part of the body feels good here. If you have a kid or even your spouse, you can have them sit on your back, on your bum, in this pose when you're in this pose, and that feels like really, really, really good. So usually I'll go and sit on Venki's back now when he's doing child's pose, but I'll spare you guys the spectacle. I don't let Venki sit on top of my back because he's like maybe 1.5 times as heavy as me. Are you getting more comfortable with each breath? Are you feeling anxious, wanting to get out of the pose? If you are feeling anxious, ask yourself why, because it's just a 1-hour yoga class. Just remind yourself to stay here and enjoy this pose. If you're really, really enjoying this pose and you feel like you don't want to come out of it, then maybe that is a good mental note as well, just to note that, this is a pose that feels good on your body. Slowly come up. If your forehead is on a blanket, then you'll want to move the blanket, but you're going to take a side stretch here too. So you're going to walk your hands all the way over to the right. Both hands will come maybe off the mat. And then from here, you're going to again melt your forehead either on the blanket or on the mat. Again, remember we did that side stretch where we breathed into the separation of the ribs, the seated side stretch. We're just taking advantage of that side stretch and deeper here in this child's pose. Breathing into the side ribs. Notice where the ins and exhales expand your body. Notice what you can relax. Don't lose connection with your breath. Usually in a yoga class, I would be calling out the inhales and exhales. So now today, I want you to explore your own breath. So don't lose connection with your breath. Notice your inhales and exhales. If you lose connection, come back to it. We'll do one more synchronized cat-cows and tabletop after we get up from child's pose. So slowly pick up your forehead. Walk your hands all the way over to the opposite side now. Your hands will come off the mat on the left, and then you're going to slowly relax your forehead back down, either on a block, blanket, or on the mat. Reaching your right hand long towards the left side of it so that you can feel a deep stretch in the right side body. And then breathe into it. Slowly walk your hands back to the center and slowly come up. We're going to go into tabletop now, and then we'll break down the poses in Surya Namaskara one at a time. But then let's first, since now we are more connected with our breath, let's do a nice flow, cat-cows and tabletop. So come into a tabletop, spread your fingers wide. So in tabletop, I want you to spread fingers wide, like I'm going to take a pencil and trace the outline of your hand. Your index finger is kind of sort of pointing forward. Your wrists are right underneath your shoulders and your knees are right underneath your hips. We're going to synchronize our inhales and exhales. For this flow, on your inhale, remember the front of your body will expand. Your exhale, the back of your body will expand. So let's all start together. Inhale, as you drop your belly and open your heart, lift your head up and look up towards the ceiling. Your tail lifts up as well. And as you exhale, you round your back, press the back to the ceiling, tuck your chin in and gaze at your belly button, tucking your tail in as well. Notice the untucking of the tail. The tail is also part of your spine. Inhale, cow pose, arch your back, look up, lift your tail up, lift your neck up to gaze up at the ceiling. The neck is part of the spine as well. Exhale, as you start tucking your tail in, upper back presses to the wall, to the ceiling, tuck your chin in and gaze at your belly button. Let's all start with the tailbone. Inhale, lift your tail up, drop your belly down, squeeze your shoulder blades behind you, lift your head up to gaze up at the ceiling. Exhale, tuck your tail in, low back, mid back, up back, presses up to the ceiling, tuck your chin in to gaze at your belly. I want to give you 3 more rounds with your own inhales and exhales. Inhales, expand the front of the body as you arch your back. Exhales, compress the front of the body and expand the back of your body. Moving with your own inhales and exhales, exploring the breath here. Try to make it a synchronized movement. And then come to a neutral tabletop. Step your right foot forward in front of the mat and come up. Padding your knee if you want to. I'm going to stay here. This is a low lunge, 90-90 low lunge. You're going to stay here, fingertips on your thigh. You're going to move the flesh away from your hip crease towards your knee. So pull it apart, pull it away. Stay here and breathe. If you want more, you can lift your arms up. Arms are a secondary part. You don't have to. This is a great hip flexor stretch on your left side. So since the left knee is down, the left hip flexor is getting a stretch. So breathe into that. If you feel like you can go a little bit deeper and you can drop your fingertips to the mat, take the right foot forward a little bit more so that you can get more of that stretch in that left hip flexor. This is Anjaneyasana, low lunge pose. You don't have to. You can stay in that 90-90 lunge. You don't have to do Anjaneyasana. Again, arms up is icing on the cake. Breathe into that hip flexor. Notice if you're feeling, again, anxiety, anything here. Impatience, maybe this is not good enough for me. This is too easy for me. This is too hard for me. Notice all those thoughts come and go. And drop your fingers. Bring that right knee back. Take that left foot forward, starting with a 90-90 lunge. And you can continue to stay here, right? So the idea is to get the stretch in your right hip flexor, the front of your right thigh. So quads and hip flexors. Take your fingers, interlace your fingers, and then move the flesh away from your hip crease towards your knee and stay here and breathe. Icing on the cake to bring arms up. I'm not doing it because sometimes if I do it, then you guys feel like you need to do it. You don't. This is a lower body stretch. Arms up is the icing on the cake, and if you feel comfortable, go for it. Fingertips down. If you are comfortable, then move your left foot forward a little bit more so that you can come into a true Anjaneyasana, low lunge stretch, deep stretch in the front of your right thigh. Geeta, maybe the padding underneath your knee, and maybe don't go that deep, just come up tall. Anxious thoughts, how long is she going to hold this? I thought we were holding it for shorter than this on the other side. Any thoughts like that, let them pass you by. And then drop your fingertips down, bring your knee back, and then slowly walk your hands forward, come onto your bellies. So now you're going to break down the poses and Surya Namaskara. Starting with, we'll start with the Sphinx pose and then take it into Cobra. Sphinx, Cobra, all these poses expand the front of your body, which means the inhales are what will initiate the movement. It doesn't mean that you don't breathe into that in that pose. Inhales will initiate the movement, and then you can hold the breath there, right? So try to initiate the movement with an inhale, but I'm not going to call it out. So let's all come up onto our elbows. Your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Your forearms are parallel to each other, like you're making the number 11, so you're not clasping your fingers. Spread your fingers wide again, Sphinx pose. So what you're going to do is isometrically drag your elbows towards your belly as if you're trying to pull yourself through to the front of the room. You're not moving. It's just like an isometric, like feeling of moving forward. Your heart is moving forward. Stay here and breathe. In this pose, the front of your body expanded. There is compression in the back of your body, and it's a back strengthening pose. Whenever you compress the muscles, it strengthens that thing, which is why, like, whenever we do this pose, we follow it up with child's pose, which relaxes the back. This is called Sphinx pose. Not sure if there's a Sanskrit name for it. Maybe like a baby Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. Keep your neck neutral with the your spine, right? So don't lift your neck up or tuck your chin in, but keeping the neck neutral in line with your spine by gazing a little bit out in front of you. Now let's all do Bhujangasana, Cobra pose, low Cobra, not a high Cobra. Drop your forehead down, bring your hands, palms underneath your shoulders. Squeeze your elbows in as if you're trying to kick your elbows in towards your ribs. So elbows are always in during Bhujangasana. You're going to peel your heart up just a little bit using the strength of your back muscle. It's easier to put your palms and come up higher, but I want you to just use the strength of the back muscles to come up rather than push with your palm. That's why low cobra is a little bit harder than high cobra. With high cobra and adult cobra, you can just use the strength of your arms to come up. Here you're using your back muscles. Stay up here and breathe. Notice if your breath is constricted and try to smooth it out. This is Bhujangasana. This is your back bend in your Surya Namaskara flow. Now let's all come to another cobra. So press into your palms and lift up a little bit higher. Your elbows are still tucked in towards your ribs. You're not letting your elbows flare out. So bent elbows tucked into your ribs. How does your back feel? How do your arms feel? Now slowly come up all the way and send your hips back. Take your knees wide, coming back in a child's pose. Notice after that compression of your back muscles, the child's pose feels, twice as good, twice as relaxing to your back. Whenever you squeeze something and then relax it, like, make tight fists with your hand. Now, all of us, let's make tight fists with our hand. Take a deep breath. And then open those fists up. So it feels really good to compress something and then release it. Now lift your head up. Come forward into a tabletop. Your toes in. You're going to come into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. This pose is a forward fold type thing. So we always do it on an exhale, but I'm not going to call it out. So tuck your toes in. You're in tabletop. Send your hips back towards your heels. And then slowly lift your hips up to the sky. You can still keep a bend in your knees if you want, so that your spine is elongated towards. You look like a V shape, inverted V shape, maybe with slightly bent knees. It's okay. To start with, we start with slightly bent knees and then we can straighten it out. Lifting your tailbone up towards the sky. Keep pushing the mat away from you to elongate the sides of the body. We did a lot of side body strength. This is an overall amazing pose. It builds your arm strength. It stretches your legs, the back of your legs. Slowly, gently, maybe start straightening your knees, upping your heels towards the mat. They may or may not touch. How long can we hold this? This is a real pose that requires a lot of strength. So notice if your arms start to get tired. This is why yogis have those like strong biceps and triceps, because of all those push-ups and downward facing dogs. Now we are all going to come high up onto our toes and roll forward to a plank pose. So in a pose, your body is like a plank. You're still working that shoulder strength. Walk your toes back a little bit so that your toes are right underneath your heels. Keep pressing the mat away. Your fingers are still spread wide. Stay here and then shoulders, hips at the same level. If this is too much, getting too much for your arms, drop your knees straight down. But keep pushing them away to build that arm strength. Hold it here, breathe. How long can we hold this? When people tell me they're not flexible enough to do yoga, I ask them, but are you strong enough? And then slowly come back to your downward facing dog by lifting your hips back up. We're almost done with our arms. So bend your knees a lot, look up towards the front, and one step at a time, walk towards your hands. Let's get off our hands here. So, ragdoll pose. Grab opposite elbows, making like a box shape. Allow your head and neck to hang. And come into this forward fold, ragdoll fold. You can keep a generous bend in your knee. Sway from side to side. Explore this pose. Shake this head, shake your head, yes. Shake it, no. And then let yourself dangle. Again, any sort of forward fold stretches your back out. So again, this is one of those poses if you have back pain or something. It's a great pose to come into. Forward fold is again one of those poses that we come into during Surya Namaskara. Release your fingertips down and like a rag doll rolling out, unrolling itself. So you're going to slowly lift your chin in, slowly come up to standing, unrolling one vertebrae at a time. Your head will come up last. And then you roll your shoulders back and down. One more time, let's synchronize our breath with our movement. Just a few simple poses. Hands by your side. Notice your feet are right underneath your hips. Maybe rock from front to back, rock side to side, finding all four corners of your feet. Lift your toes up off the mat, just rooting down with all four corners of your feet, and then plant your toes back down. Really connecting with that ground. We draw energy from the ground during yoga. So we press down with our feet or we press down with our hands. For handstand, we press with our hands. So just making that connection here, really aware of the ground. One more time for synchronized movement with breath. Inhale as you sweep your arms all the way up to the sky, expanding the front of the body. Palms touch, gaze up at your thumbs. Exhale, draw your palms down to your heart center. Samastitihi, and then down by your side. 3 more times like this. Inhale, big sweep of the arms all the way up to the sky. Open your heart up to the sky. Palms touch, gaze up. Exhale, palms draw down to your heart center. And then down by your side. Last time, 2 more times. Inhale, sweep your arms, big sweep of the arms up to the sky. Palms touch, gaze up. Exhale, palms to heart center. And down by your side. Last time, inhale, big sweep of the arms. This time, can we take it to a forward fold? So hinging at your hips, sending your hips back and folding over those legs. Part of Surya Namaskara. You can keep your bend in your knees if you want. If you can touch the floor, fine. If not, just grab the backs of your legs. Allow your head and neck to go. So in the forward fold in yoga, we don't hold our head and neck up. We exhale, push all the air out of the lungs, and then just keep the fold. So this is pose 2 of Surya Namaskara. Experience your breath in this pose. And then we'll come up to a half lift. So slide your up your shins, L shape here. So reach the top of the head, the crown of the head forward, suck in your belly button so that you have the flat back. Reach the crown of the head forward like you're peering over the edge of a cliff. Reach through the side body. You have created all the space with your side bend, so reach through the side body. Stay here and breathe. This is a pose. We would come into the third pose in Surya Namaskara. We come into it with an inhale. Keep your hands on your shins. In half lift, we don't let our hands dangle. So either fingertips on the mat if you can reach the mat, or hands on your shins, either way. Send your bum, your tail back. Send your heart forward, send on the head forward. This is a great stretch for your hamstrings. So keep sending those hips back. In like a gym, you would call this like a good morning stretch or something. And then we're going to bend our knees a lot and plant our hands down on the mat. Bend your knees as much as you want to plant your hands on the mat. Fingers spread wide. We're going to take it back to the plank pose. So slowly stepping one foot back, stepping the other foot back, coming back into that plank pose. Keep pressing the mat away from you. We have experienced plank pose. I won't torture you guys in this pose any longer. So drop your knees down. On the exhale, we would usually come onto our belly or knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga pranayama. So squeeze your elbows in and come all the way to your belly. From here, we'll untuck our toes, coming back into Bhujangasana Cobra pose. So untuck your toes so that your big toe is pressing into the mat. Your big toe nail is pressing into the mat. Hands underneath your shoulders. Squeeze your elbows in by your ribs. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. And then you would do the inhale, but I won't call you out. See for what feels natural to you. Come up into Bhujangasana Cobra pose. We have been here before. Sometimes slow yoga is harder than moving breath to breath because holding poses is not easy. And then slowly pick yourself up, send your hips back, child's pose. So in a traditional Surya Namaskara, instead of child's pose, you would be coming into downward facing, which again will expand the back. But today we'll end with a child's pose here. Come back to your breath. If your heart is beating fast, elongate your inhales and exhales so that you can bring your heart rate under your control. Slowly come up and swing your legs forward. So almost at the end of class, we did one full round of Surya Namaskara. Bring your strap close by. Grab the backs of your thighs. And slowly round your back as you lower one vertebrae at a time towards the mat. So bridge pose and a few other poses, but I told you guys just 10 to 12 poses, and that's where we are now. Maybe next time we'll just pose and all that. So now for some supine twists and hamstring stretches. So planting your left foot down, take the loop it on your arch of your right foot and bring the right leg up. Allow the right leg to fall towards your face. So if it is comfortable for you, you don't have to. Only if it is comfortable for you, you can extend your left leg. I want you to allow the length of allow enough length in your strap so that you're not reaching up to grab the strap, but your shoulders are relaxed on the mat. Because I'm going to let you guys do your own Shavasana. I want you guys to be really relaxed here before I let us go. And then take both ends of the strap in your left hand, reach your right arm out as a T, and bring that right foot across your body over to the left, supine twist. So sorry, I forgot to say, if your knee is up, you might want to slide the left leg out of your way before you bring it across your body. Slowly come up. You'll change sides. Okay. Plant your right foot down, loop the strap on the arch of your left foot and bring that left leg up. Breathe into it, allowing that leg to fall closer and towards your face with each breath. Relax into it. Trying not to yank that foot towards you, but just relaxing enough so that the foot naturally starts falling towards you. Initially, it may feel like it's falling away from you, but eventually it will start moving to your face. You can extend the right leg out if you did it on the other side and if it feels comfortable. Both ends of the strap in your right hand, reach your left arm out, and then take that left leg across your body over to the right. Supine twist. Slowly come back to the center, remove the strap, set it aside. Grab both knees into your chest. One more time, rock and roll from side to side. Let's do one last synchronized breath movement thing. So bring your hands to your kneecaps. Just one last time, I want you guys to experience flowing with breath. So bring your hands to your kneecaps. This is called Anasana. Extremely beneficial pose, right? So what you're going to do is, on your inhale, you're going to push your kneecaps away from you. Notice your back, low back, kind of like the arch in your low back come up. On the exhale, pull those knees in towards you, curling your tailbone, pressing your low back into the mat. Inhale, push those knees away from you. Exhale, pull those knees in towards you. Very simple movement, nothing complex about it. Inhale, push those knees away from you. Exhale, pull those kneecaps in towards you. Two more times. Inhale, press them away from you. Exhale, pull them in. As you notice the tailbone curl up, your low back press into the mat. Last time. Inhale, press the knees away from you. Your low back natural arch shows up. Exhale, pull it in towards you. Your tail tucks in and you press your low back in. Now hug both knees into the chest. Let's all take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, bring your forehead, knees curl into a tight, tight ball. One more time. Deep inhale through your nose. Exhale, release, relax, Shavasana, your final resting pose. Extend your legs wide. Allow your ankles to drop open. Maybe cover yourself with a blanket if you are feel cold. Arms wide, palms face up, relaxing your shoulder blades down. Notice how your body feels now. Shavasana is really important to assimilate benefits of your practice. How do those hips feel? How do those shoulders feel? Those were some really long plank holds, and you guys have yours to thank for. You asked me to hold those poses and experience your breath. Soft belly, soft breath. Allow softness to wash over your entire body, especially the space between your eyebrows. Soften that space, close your eyelids softly. And sink deeper and deeper into Shavasana. If you want to stay in Shavasana for a little while longer, I think you should just ignore me, switch me off, turn me off, and go for it. If you want to end practice with me, start bringing sensation to your body. And then slowly roll to one side and pick yourself up, come up to a tall seat.